Hey everyone, this is Patty XRP coming to you from the DeFi Standard, the official channel and website of Mickey B Fresh. So today, kind of wanted to get into some Gala Games talk. I know that we really haven't covered gaming as much as some people would like in the past, and we kind of want to change that. I'm a young person. I'm 25. I have a lot of experience playing games growing up. Some of my favorites, just so you guys can get an idea, would be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Skyrim, the Fallout series, and then just about any sports game you could think of. So FIFA, NHL, MLB The Show, Madden, NCAA college football. And right now I've been really into playing PGA 2K21 with my roommate and having some games going on there. But I've definitely, gone across the spectrum and done strategy games to, RPGs and, basically like your shooter games like Call of Duty. So I've played a lot. I don't play as much as I used to. Just find it a little harder working a full-time job in college and, growing up as a kid. There's a lot more free time, and I'm sure a lot of y'all can sympathize with that. But yeah, now that you guys kind of know what I have been into growing up, maybe that can give you some perspective on how I feel about Gala and what I'm about to bring to you guys. So Gala is going to be, they're one of the first partners with the Flare network in the gaming world, and they also offer NFTs. So Gala Games is basically, they may act as a publisher in the future, but they're creating a couple games right now. The first one, Townstar, is in beta, and we'll kind of go through those later in this video. But I want to start off with what is the idea behind Gala? So, their team, which is created by Eric Schiermeier, who is one of the founders of Zynga and behind the hit game on Facebook called Farmville. And it's currently valued at $11.11 billion. He came together with some other people in the gaming community and founded Gala to bring power back to the players. I think all of you know that we're kind of subject to the whims of whatever centralized game database is holding, all the content that we own the rights to, and they don't have to support the game for forever. And they could decide to ban you if you want to share your account or sell your account because you spent a lot of time and you built up a lot of value. You could think of games like World of Warcraft or RuneScape, where people spent a lot of time and unlocked a lot of really cool items, but they have no way to monetize that. Well, Gal is trying to change the game here, and we'll start off with their node ecosystem. So some of y'all may have heard that people have paid to buy Gala nodes, and they receive payment for running the nodes, which basically takes care of their decentralized game ecosystem and runs that software. So their core philosophy is around owning your own content, which is going to be in the form of let's say you get a sword from one game that could be used in another game. They'll provide the code base for developers to do that. And you could move different items between games. Let's say if there are a series of games that are coming out, maybe a new version comes out, you could move that sword possibly into the future version, or maybe it's some kind of skin that goes across games and stuff like that. So that's one of the nice things with the decentralization of the blockchain. And they're looking to use Flare networks now, since Ethereum gas fees are basically making, their whole marketing strategy and core philosophy impossible with the transaction fees. They'll be looking to do this on Flare. And then also, probably one of the cooler aspects I think of this is that you get to own the roadmap if you're a node operator on the Gala ecosystem. And what this means is you get a voice in all the different things they could do. So rewards they give out, new games being brought onto the network. And even in fact, our buddy Banjo Samurai, who you may have seen on the Deep Space Flare channel, he tweeted out Echoes of Empire, a space-based strategy game, is being voted for inclusion into the Go Gala Games ecosystem by licensed node holders. Next level gaming democracy. I mean, that's just really cool to me that people can vote to include them in the ecosystem. And if those game developers in the game share the values of the Gala Games ecosystem, then they could be brought in to be a part of that. and, kind of contribute with new games. And then as far as like NFTs and things like that going forward. So if we go down here, we can kind of see the Gala Games node ecosystem map. So they have this random distribution algorithm to make things fair. And then you're going to have 3 types of nodes running to keep, to power their network, which will be proof of work, proof of stake, and proof of storage. And then within each of these, there's 3 different types of nodes that you can have. So we'll get into those below. So the founder nodes basically are the first 50,000 that will ever be sold, and there will never be any more. They come in the form of an NFT, which allows you the right to run the software, and you get paid out in their native token Gala. In order to like receive reimbursement, you also get any kind of airdrops coming from a game for being one of the people that's running these nodes, and it's for every game in the Gala ecosystem. Additionally, you have paid nodes. So these are coming from people that own founders nodes. They will rent out a paid node to individuals to run on a per game basis. And that entitles the person that's renting to earn the NFTs and rewards from that specific game. And then we also have free nodes. So you can receive one reward, some rewards over time and stuff like that. But since they're free to run, you're not getting as much. So it may just be you're, a big gaming enthusiast and you're really hyped about Gala Games. You could sit here and run a node for the system for free without having to pay for one. I will add on these paid nodes. So like what's really cool is, let's say you really like their first game, Townstar, and that's really all you're going to be playing in the ecosystem. You could just rent a node for Townstar, so you don't have to pay as much as these founders nodes, and you can get the NFTs that come with that and things of that nature. And those are delivered through this treasure chest system they have in the random distribution algorithm. So yeah, that's kind of a brief overview of how that node ecosystem works. I would say look into it more on what kind of payout there is. There's definitely a lot of people in the community that are already looking into this. And I would say if you're going to run a node, since it's being paid out in Gala, unless you're going to convert it to USDT immediately, then you're going to want to think about, is Gala a token that you believe is going to appreciate in price in the long term? And also, is it going to have enough value and liquidity behind it to possibly be used in some of these other DeFi products on the Flare network? So possibly like liquidity pools on Flare Finance is one thing that comes to mind. Additionally, Gala Games has partnered with Pack Global. So they're going to be contributing some of their node power to the Pack Global ecosystem of nodes. And it may be possible to earn Spark with a Gala Games node in the future. I haven't seen a definitive post yet that says that individuals will be able to earn Spark by running Gala Games nodes, but I'd be on the lookout for that. And if you guys have seen someone definitive, please throw it down in the comments, and I'll update everybody next time on that. Cool. So now that we have a nice overview of what's going on with their ecosystem, I'm going to touch briefly on some of their games. So Townstar is the only one that's currently out, and technically it's in beta still. So this is kind of, if you ever saw Farmville on Facebook, which I never played, but I kind of got the idea of it. You create a town. It's all about economics and, building a town to be as advanced as possible. You kind of just start off with like a small, dirt road in your town, and you have some workers, you have a trade depot, and then you start farming wheat, and then you kind of build from there. And then later this year, which I'm the most excited for, is this Mirandus game. So you can kind of see it has like a Roblox or Minecraft vibe as far as the graphics look. But from everything I can tell, they have it listed as a fantasy role-playing game, and it's going to be an MMO as well, which is massive multiplayer online. So the whole thing's going to be online. You're going to be interacting with people, and basically they've been selling off land deeds to this game with a couple of them already over $1 million USD they were sold for. There's basically 5 citadels. I think the first one maybe went for like 700K, and then there was one for like 1.5 million, and then Flare Networks actually just bought one as well. and they have 2 more for sale, and they kind of go up in price over time. And these people will basically be like kings of this entire kingdom of Mirandus, and will have like special abilities and things that they can do inside their ecosystem. So I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to play this game when it comes out, or whenever the beta is out first. It's been a while since I played a game like this. Like Skyrim was really the last one that I got a lot of time put into. So this will be really interesting. And plus, like, you know, if it's going to be involved with Flare, I definitely want to show some support there and try that out and see where blockchain gaming is going to grow to. Fortified and Echoes of Empire, this was the one that was being voted on, still pending a node vote. This, and then Fortified is kind of like a tower defense game. If you ever used to play like Bloons Tower Defense, you know, just like on a web browser growing up. I remember I used to play that in school and stuff when we'd have free time on a computer. Cool. And then aside from that, we can see that it's really driven by the community, and somebody's already put together this galabase.io website that's an NFT explorer. So we can see like all the NFTs from the game listed here across all these different games. And cool, yeah. So this Citadel of the Sun, Citadel of the Wind, these are all those big like land deeds in the game that I was talking about that have sold for a lot. And they're NFTs, so they're transferable if somebody no longer wants to do it, or somebody views it as an investment, you know, you can sell it in the future. And then additionally, going back to the Townstar NFTs here, since it's live, we can see they have this one called an Epic Wheat Stand that's kind of a newer NFT. And I found that having this would be very helpful in the game, or some kind of wheat stand, so that maybe if you run out of gasoline, you're still able to make money until you can make some more, because your town can get to a point where it's like it's dead in the water. It's basically going to go bankrupt. So it's definitely, I'd say it was a little difficult to figure out. I got some help from the Gala Games Discord server, some people in there giving me some pointers and pro tips. So that was cool. They already have a big like community developing around the game. So I highly suggest checking that out. And if you can see, this kind of links to OpenSea, which is an NFT trading platform. This one hasn't been sold yet, so there's nothing there. You can kind of see it gives you an overview, properties, tells you about the game, and just like when it was created, how many there are. So that's really cool to see this marketplace already developing around the game. And then finally, I just want to get into 2 of their main game developers, just so you guys can know, like, they have some firepower in this team. The first is going to be T. Elliott Cannon, who's one of the newer members. Some of the big games that he put together, or was, you know, a dev on, essentially, be Crisis, Doom. That's an absolutely massive game. Unreal and Unreal Tournament, Warhammer. These are all big games that I've heard of. And then additionally, he did this Defense Live virtual constructive training that used the Unreal engine, which is Unreal's like a gaming studio, and they did contracting for the US government military and helping them do some like simulations for air combat, which I think is really cool. So this guy's got a lot of experience, and he's been a part of a lot of really big franchises. So I'll be curious to see what he does. I believe he's going to be the lead dev on Townstar. So we'll have to see how that goes. They also host a lot of AMAs on YouTube, so you can kind of listen to the game developers and what they think, and they're really big on community feedback. Additionally, Michael McCarthy, who was the head developer on Townstar, he is going to be moving to like full-time, basically dealing with Mirandus to get that ready to go by the end of the year. And his big claim to fame is basically being one of the leads on Farmville 2, which is one of the most played games in history. So that's really great to see. And then we can get into this final thing. So the Gala token, you know, are you interested in getting that? You know, I've thought about this. I don't think I'm ready to personally buy at this point, but it's something I'm going to keep on my radar. So no financial advice here. Just so y'all know, I don't own any Gala at this point in time. It's doing pretty solid today. The max supply is going to be 50 billion, so that's pretty large. You know, I can't find a ton of tokenomics information on the Gala token. I think like the main use case is it's going to be for in-game purchases. So, you know, whether you want to hold Gala just for a purely, you know, utility basis, which is you're playing in the Gala games, you're buying some of these in-game items or selling them, like Gala, makes sense to hold some Gala if you're being more speculative, because you want to see where blockchain gaming goes in the future. That's kind of another reason to own the Gala token. I just don't know how much it's going to be able to use in DeFi products at this point. Could some other token like an F asset or Spark or something like that be used to purchase in-game items in the future? We'll have to see. So those are some of the things that has me worried at this point. But I'm hoping for the best here. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this in the future. I do know quite a few people that own the Gala token. So, I think it's more of like, do you believe in the team and what they're trying to build, and if that's going to succeed, or kind of be the main drivers for now until we can see Flare live, and if Flare Finance is going to have it as a token on the DEX, since recently the Gala Games company announced that people are going to be able to burn their Gala tokens on the Ethereum network and then reissue them on top of Flare, so that they have the fast transaction speeds as well as the really cheap gas fees. So that'll make it much more usable than it is right now for their ecosystem and as like an in-game currency type deal. So we'll have to see. I mean, if their games pick up a lot of users, then I see some potential here. Obviously a large max supply, but it is trading low, so you know how people are with microcaps. Yeah, that's gonna cover for the most part everything I want to get into on this first go around with Gala Games. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. I'm gonna give you guys like a brief 2 to 3 minute overview of what the game looks like for Townstar here, and we'll get into that now. All right, so I'm gonna pull up the Townstar game right here, which is very interesting. Not the greatest graphics in the world, but for a strategy game, I think it's very cool. I like how they have little figures running around for the workers and things like that. The main purpose of this game basically is you're trying to build your town as big as possible. So some of the things that I have learned in my brief time playing it, which I started last week for the first time, they just started a new week of gameplay. So they have constant competitions going on and things like that. And very strategy based for sure, and economics. So you can see like all my workers are being paid $450 per minute. Right now I have $6,000 in capital. So I have to make sure that I'm selling enough items in time to keep up with, to pay my, like the wages for my workers. Also, I need to take into account how much gasoline I have. So you start off with about 40, gasoline tanks at the beginning, and then you need to quickly try and build to creating your own gasoline so you can, fund the trading for your entire town. So what we can see here is I have a bunch of wheat fields, things of that nature, and then, some wells. I have my wheat fields placed next to ponds and marshes because they get bonuses for growing wheat faster. So like this one, basically, as soon as it gets picked, it doesn't need to have any water added since it's so close to these. So it's basically just perpetually making wheat, which is a good tip to know. It took me a little bit to figure that out. And then I have my workers' houses here, a lumberjack house. And over here, we'll have our oil pump, the oil refinery, which actually makes the gasoline. And that takes a bit, some oil, barrels of oil, and water from my refinery, or my water facility rather, and also energy from my windmill. So you guys can see there's a lot going on here. Let's see if I can show you the shop so you can get an idea of what's all involved. So you can see you can do cotton fields, Cabernet vines, bakeries, things like that, different workers, lumber yards. You can make tree farms. You have storage like a wood shed to keep your wood before you sell it off. Wells, so you can get pitchers of water to water your fields, things like that. And then there's also ranch items, so you can make a milk barn, chicken coop, sheep pen. There's different terrains, so you can create ponds, pastures for your animals or your cattle and stuff to feed on. Dirt roads are the cheapest, obviously, and then paved roads. So the thing about paved roads is some of the buildings need to be next to a paved road for you to make them. So those are more costly, but you got to save up for them for sure. And then additionally here, you can see we have a lot of industrial stuff. So that's where the wind turbine came in, the oil pump. Let's see, that was the refinery. And you can also see like nuclear power, all kinds of stuff here. And then also with trades, you can have a pier if you're near the water, a freight pier, and then a trade depot, which is what I have right now. So like if you want to sell, you can go here, sell some wheat, sell some wood, whatever it is. You have to have 10 items to go ahead and sell. And you can see it costs gasoline as well as time for them to deliver and bring it back. So ideally, you're going to pick a town location that's near a city so you can easily transfer goods in and out. Well, hopefully it gives you guys a little overview of the game. I'm going to keep playing this. I kind of find it enjoyable. It's fun to like just have going on the side because I don't have to constantly be doing it while I'm doing something else, maybe watching a sporting event. But I hope you guys enjoyed the introduction to Gala as well as Townstar, which is playable right now for free in your browser if you want to check that out. And highly suggest going to the Gala Discord and just seeing what they're talking about there. They have a lot of helpful channels there and a ton of people communicating on a daily basis. But that's going to do it for me. I'm Patty XRP with the DeFi Standard, and we're done for today.